Aha. So,
I
your
passed
degree is
that
in
up.
plant science.
I don't know why.
But you don't seem to know anything about plants.
Well, I've still got a lot to learn.
So you're still saying you've never heard of salvia?
Didn't say that.
So you have.
Maybe.
And you do grow it.
Yeah, it's legal. Why not?
What do you do with it?
I use it for explorative purposes, meditation.
And does this
With the
involve
scrying
anybody
mirror.
else?
Why?
Do you sell it or give it to anybody else? Sure.
Yeah, it's just for me, nobody else.
And that's the only drug you grow, is it?
Feel free to go and look if you want.
It's okay, I'll look later.
The only drug he grows? I'm not sure I believe that, James. Then again, would someone growing illegal drugs bother growing a legal one?
Aha.
That's what I was
When you
looking
say
for.
herbal tea, do you mean salvia?
Probably.
So you traded salvia tea with Simon for his homebrew.
So?
So why did you say you didn't give salvia to anybody else? Did you give it to anybody else?
Gave it to Liam. Or Kate.
How many people did you give it to? Did you give it to Kate?
No.
How about Liam?
I didn't have anything to do with him dying, if that's what you mean.
So you did give him salvia?
Yes, I gave him salvia because he asked for it. But that's not what killed him.
Well, he committed suicide, James, because of psychological issues that probably weren't helped by him trying hallucinogenic
He
drugs.
didn't commit suicide. You don't know anything about him. You don't
He
know
was
what happened.
sacrificed.
Okay, so what happened then?
Do you even know about Third Eye?
Go on.
You don't know about Third Eye. You don't know about Third Eye. You know nothing about Liam's death. I mean, forget salvia.
Fine, tell me then.
Third Eye was a cult. We had our very own psycho cult operating
Yes!
right here from our
Knew
very
it!
home. And I got rid of them, single-handed. I'm the one who got rid of Third Eye. Did they tell you that at the station?
Okay, start again. They were what?
You don't know anything, do you? Look. They were reeling in students, pretending to be some sort of happy life course, you know. We can make your life better. sort
Last
of
year.
Then they were putting everyone through
The
the
Third Eye!
brainwashing program to make them compliant, then selling them on. All
Dude!
there.
That's on the mask!
What do you mean?
A year ago!
Selling them. Objects, commodities.
To who?
It turned
Anyone
into
who can afford
Atlas.
them. Top politicians, famous celebrities, wealthy businessmen, you name it.
What for?
You don't get it, do you? Third Eye were making and selling slaves. They were black market slave traders. They were wiping people's personalities using ECT, brainwashing, cocktails of hard drugs, deliberately turning them into perfect slaves. You know how much slaves are worth on the black market these days?
No.
Millions. And I'm talking per slave. That's why anyone who stood up to them and threatened to go public like Liam was just killed off. They didn't give a damn.
So you're saying Liam was murdered by Third Eye?
Exactly what I'm saying. I
Ryan
started looking into it.
was the one that
I'm
killed
not
both
saying it was
Liam and
suicide,
Kate.
but there's no way.
So, did you ever actually meet Liam?
I found out about him.
And how did you find out about all this other stuff?
It's obvious, you can tell. I met some of the students. You could see straight away there was something wrong. They were like zombies. And I could tell when someone's got ECT damage or when they've been through mind conditioning. It's just obvious. I mean, US military used all these techniques back in the 50s. It's all documented, you can read about it. They showed all the same signs.
So, did you ever actually go to a meeting?
No, but I knew what went on.
How?
From what people said who'd been through it.
Okay, so do you know anyone I could speak to who did go through it?
Well, look, it doesn't matter. Why did they close down if it wasn't true? They just closed down and disappeared overnight after I put all the flyers up.
And turned into
Bit of a
Atlas.
coincidence.
But that was just after Liam died.
Yeah,
And do you think that had anything to do with it?
maybe, but it was the flyers that forced them to close.
Okay. Do you mind if I keep this?
Yeah, you investigate it. It'll all come out. Third Eye definitely killed Liam.
Well, that was a lot to take in. Does James really believe all this stuff? This is the first I've heard about Third Eye. Question is, what's their connection with Atlas, if there is one?
Okay. So. Okay. Here's what. Sorry, Mustachio. Okay, this just got good. Okay, so. Here's what I'm suspecting. Because apparently Atlas is a new thing. I'm suspecting they brought Third Eye down only by name. Third Eye turned into Atlas and they changed what they're doing so that people don't know what's going on. It's not exactly making them into slaves. It's more of... So, let me think. Yeah. Enton Village Hall. Ryan came up with the phrase of free to be free at the hall. At like the yeah, wherever he yeah, 3 months. It's similar to making slaves, but more of giving people the skills and the lack of guilt that a lot of high-end companies are looking for. I need to remember to see if AtlasBusinessTraining.com is a real thing. I just know it's called 1666. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
The first person I'm going to confront is Ryan. Because I think this is the information I need to really slam him hard. Bend him over a table, spank him like a naughty child. Wish I can go up the steps at some point.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Here we go.
What do you know about this?
Time to bring you down.
Not much.
So you've never seen this before? You don't know anything about Third Eye?
Well, I don't remember seeing it now.
You don't recognize any of the symbols on it?
No, sorry.
He doesn't recognize any of the symbols, but it's on your own mask.
Aha.
Gonna destroy you.
Ryan, you've just told me all about the moon symbols on the mask. Then you're claiming you don't know anything about the symbols on the flyer. It's all the same thing.
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, yes, I do remember that.
So what did you know about Third Eye?
Oh, not much, really. Never came into contact with them.
I'm not believing that.
That explanation was way too short. Ryan's definitely hiding something.
Never came in contact with Third Eye. Yes!
According to the flyer, this Third Eye group was based at the village hall, is that right?
Was it?
Ah, that's where you were based, wasn't it? Yeah, you said you invented the Atlas phrase free to be free while you were based at the village hall.
So I did.
So you must have come into contact with Third Eye at some point. You were using the same hall.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with you, Inspector.
I'm afraid I
Go on.
have to kill you now.
You see, Third Eye is, or was, Atlas under a different name. Sorry.
Atlas is Third Eye.
In a new improved form, yes.
And you ran Third Eye.
With Dad, yes.
So you must have known Liam. You didn't just meet him, did you?
Yes, I knew him, Inspector, but don't get your hopes up. All of this has been thoroughly investigated.
No.
You've been investigated about his death?
They dropped the case. We didn't have anything to do with it. Well, when I say drop the case, I mean a police investigation is one thing, but what the public thinks is another. They threatened to go public, and then James bloody Wilson started distributing his flyers, and that was it. No choice. It was an end to it.
You had to change the name.
We'd already paid the family an out-of-court settlement. Thought that was an end to it. But then James, his cronies, they wouldn't leave it alone. So we had to close down, buy a new place, rebrand. So eventually, we reopened here.
As Atlas.
As Atlas.
And it worked.
Up till now, yes.
So you knew James Wilson too?
We knew James, but he didn't know us as such. Oh, he was very quick to shoot us down, but he didn't do anything like actually coming to the course to see what he was about.
So James wouldn't know that you were now running Atlas.
Not unless he came to one of our courses.
And how much of all that stuff was true? ECT machines, brainwashing.
I'm afraid that exists only exclusively in the mind of Mr. Wilson. All we do is make better business people. We challenge their prejudices and presumptions. Why don't you come along and see for yourself? The course starts in 15 minutes.
Ooh.
Excuse me, Inspector.
Hold on.
Hello. I can't come back now. Well, you have my car at the moment. All right.
I'm recording.
All right. See you later. That was Dad. I have to go back. You can come and meet him if you like.
Well, I might come and have a chat.
Come with me. To be perfectly honest, Dad's a great businessman, but he lacks imagination. He does, however, believe in the power of the individual when taught by the right teacher.
How long was your drink?
Ryan! In here. Just coming. He's through here.
To whom do I owe the pleasure?
Detective Inspector Jenks, I'm investigating a death in the village. I believe you knew Kate Vine.
Oh, I thought all this was dealt with, Inspector. You do know that Kate Vine was a gherkin short of a big mad. You do now.
Father.
You must forgive my son, Inspector.
Yeah.
He still can't summon up the courage to come straight to the point. So what do you want to know?
Well, a few more questions if you don't mind.
I do mind. I'm a very busy man. Try asking an intelligent question, like, do I mind being quizzed about a once promising student who turned into a useless drunk? Ryan, would you mind leaving us for a while?
I'll go right to the centre. I have one or two things to prepare. Call me if you need me, Dad.
You may begin, Mr. Holmes, although I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't have much to do with the course nowadays, so I can't give you any hard information.
That's as maybe, but we
No, that's
need...
as is. But if you want my opinion, I'd be quite happy to give it to you. So, fire away.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Paul certainly doesn't take any prisoners. It's obvious who's pulling the strings in this family, and I wonder what they got up to in their previous guise as Third Eye. 8 o'clock already.
Enough time to, yeah, I think I have enough time to just investigate this guy, see what he has to say. So,
How well did you know Kate?
Hardly knew her at all. Met her a few times. But the course, that's about all.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Last Friday. I just popped out of the course and about 7.
Did you speak to her then?
It's possible.
And how did she seem? Was she happy, sad, preoccupied?
She was drunk.
just, she was drunk. Kate. Oh, I'm really loving this game. It's so well done, and he's probably gonna get pissed.
Do you know
off
if
that
Kate
he's
had lost
asking.
this? It's her driving license.
How would I know that?
You didn't see it lying around anywhere.
No.
It has to come up somewhere.
Did you know anything about Simon Thompson's bike?
No.
I could just ask him straight up about the
Have you
pendant.
seen this before?
Looks familiar. Where did you find it?
It was, in the woods.
Presumably had something to do with Kate or a killer.
Well, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Shouldn't it be in an evidence bag, Inspector, in case of contamination?
I didn't have one with me, unfortunately.
Well, don't go testing it for DNA, will you? It's got yours all over it.
Oh, this guy is intelligent.
Ever tried Simon's homebrew? Simon Thompson?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't touch anything that has had Simon's fingers in it.
What do you know about this?
It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol we use sometimes on the course. Little bird in cage flying away. Freeing themselves from their past is the analogy.
So do they get them when they join the course or something?
No, not as a rule. I think I bought one once as a present.
Oh, not for Kate, by any chance?
No, not for Kate. I can't really remember who it was for. A birthday present, maybe for one of the students.
Which student?
I've no idea.
What do you know about this?
Looks like a mask.
You don't recognize it?
Not particularly. Looks like a monarch mask.
What's a monarch mask?
Monarch is a fancy dress. Outfitters. Ryan goes there sometimes.
Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency
And when was that?
last year.
Is that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Ever used one?
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No,
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
not at all. Strange question.
Not as strange as you think.
What did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
You didn't hear anything about an argument in the pub?
Should I have?
No, that's fine. If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
I presume you've seen an Atlas student doing that.
Ah, so this is an Atlas thing.
Well, it wasn't exactly our idea. The students started doing it spontaneously to show commitment to the cause. Cute, really. Which student did you see doing that?
I'm not sure, but he was carving it into a tree. I told him to stop.
Did you really? Why?
Defacing public property.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What's the punishment for that kind of thing nowadays? Prison sentence?
Oh, it's usually a fine.
All right. What about defiling public liberty? Does that carry a fine too?
Oddly enough, the student in question argued a similar point. Is that something you encourage on the Atlas course?
We encourage people who put ideas first and moral anachronisms second. The problem with the law, Inspector, is that it's out of date.
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. However, you still respect it.
Respect it. I abide by it. We all play by the book, Inspector, but that's only because of the threat of possible incarceration.
Interesting way of putting it. Reluctantly abides by the law. I love it. Alright, let's ask about Liam's stuff.
How well did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam, who took his life.
Oh. Well, as far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
I believe he had problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
He was drunk.
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression, is that normal for the students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs, all that kind of nonsense.
Guilt cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector. My house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
I'm sorry. Door. Sound like the wind blew the door open. I'm sorry. I apparently have ghosts. Oh, that was great. That was Dark Shadows levels of continuing on with the scene.
Know what this is, by any chance?
I've no idea. Gardening isn't my kind of thing. Rebecca would probably know. I presume you've met Rebecca.
Yes,
I'm sure she'd enjoy telling you what it is. She's the kind of woman who likes to feel superior.
I noticed.
Would probably marry a millionaire and then decide to run her own pub.
Yes, why was that?
Well, she isn't exactly housewife material.
Oh.
She likes to be in control, like Wyatt. Shame, isn't it, that I'm in control of both of them?
And I've noticed he blinks a lot when he's irritated with the question. It's not that he's lying or he's hiding something. He's irritated.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum, or magic mint?
Sounds like it might be a drug.
It's a hallucinogenic plant. Legal, as a matter of fact.
I'm not a drug taker, Inspector. I have no enthusiasm for voluntarily poisoning your brain.
And you've never seen anyone on the course taking it?
Well, if someone had, they wouldn't have done it openly. We don't allow drugs or alcohol on our course. We like to tell the students that success is the best drug. Whether you buy into that, of course, is another matter.
Now, the coup de grace.
What do you know about this?
So you've been graced with Goebbels' company already, have you? James, our local minister for propaganda. I suppose Ryan already told you about our actual previous incarnation.
He explained, yes.
Did he tell you anything scandalous?
Not unless you count the suicide.
Well, these things happen.
Was it your idea?
The suicide?
Third eye.
Yeah, I suppose it was. Yeah. As my son had started to atrophy, I decided I ought to give him something to do.
And third eye was the same as Atlas, teaching business skills.
Very similar.
So Liam's death didn't prompt you to make any changes?
There was nothing we could do about Liam's death, Inspector, any more than we could do anything about Kate's. It was out of our control.
You can't blame me for wondering, Paul. 2 student deaths in 2 years.
It's called a coincidence, Inspector. I expect they ate fast food also. But you're not investigating all the local chippies, are you?
Ooh, he is devil incarnate. So, I'm going to leave the episode here. When I get back, I am going to see if there's any contradictions with what he said, because he has not given me any new information. So. Whew. I'm sorry, this was just so... This episode was extremely exciting for me. Just let me know what you think. And until next time, I'm going to go over here and absorb all the information I just obtained.